CBST Adventures is a experiential leadership and team building company.
Okay, and what does that mean exactly?
Well, we work with corporation groups, teams, and we provide them high impact experiences that helps them enhance communication, collaboration, and work better as a team.
All right, and I understand that you have some experience, some background in this, right?
Yes. Well, I have a varied background, but
Yeah.
I worked with a group for a decade. It was a wilderness therapy adventure program with juvenile delinquents, and there we used the experiential learning model in order to provoke change as well in a positive way with young people that are having hard times.
Oh, okay. So so I can understand why they probably hired you, right? You have some background in that. Now, is CBST, it's focused more on just corporations, or like as far as like working with corporations in this team building?
That's our primary market. We do work with a lot of unique groups. We worked with weddings before, wedding parties.
That sounds like super fun.
Yeah.
That sounds like a great wedding party.
We worked with school groups. We're talking to Boulder Country Day School right now about a summer program for a team building initiative to complement a service project they're doing.
All right. And I like the variety of people that you can help, of team building.
Yes.
Now, what makes Summit County like such a great place to have these types of experiences?
Obviously, the High Rockies provide a lot of, physical terrain, but also the ambiance of, outdoors and adventure, and just the spirit of adventure in Summit County really complements those folks that are coming from out of state sometimes, or just out of the county to participate in an off-site meeting or conference. So they really get into the groove when it comes to when they hit the Rockies and everybody's walking down the streets with skis and snowboards and mountain bikes, and then they're actually getting ready to participate in a small adventure themselves. It really makes for a great setting.
Now, my understanding is, you're typically not in the field on some of these adventures, but you have gone out on a number of them.
Yes.
Like, what can people expect? Like, what roughly is the type of experience, or a sample experience? I imagine you probably have a number of different sort of adventures available to your clients.
Yes, and I'd like to say that we operate in wilderness, urban, and classroom settings. So we're not just, I don't want to pigeonhole us as, just an adventure-based company, but it's certainly where the learning begins, is, with that adventure opportunity to drag people out of their comfort zone. Just to give you an idea, I'm the national sales manager, actually.
Okay.
So, and I sold a program to Schlumberger, which is an oil and gas company, and their North American headquarters is out of Denver. So they had folks coming in from all over the world. I think there was like 4 or 5 countries, and a lot of folks from Texas. And we brought them into, they wanted an outdoor challenge that was focused on team building. So we set up what we call our Winter Backcountry Skills Challenge. And with that, we set up an adventure, a avalanche beacon rescue relay.
Those are fun.
Yeah, absolutely. We got shovels, probes, beacons. Everybody learns how to use all the equipment. They understand the sense of urgency because they're actually out there in the mountains, and it's a dramatic setting, and they really have a sense of, wow, this could happen to me.
Yeah.
And then we did a litter rescue relay challenge where they learned, some, backcountry winter first aid considerations, as well as, how to package people up in a litter and get them out of the mountains should they have the opportunity. And then we also did a snow shelter challenge where they had to, we set up a scenario where they had to survive the night, dig a 2-person, we weren't actually staying out overnight, but we set the scenario up, and a 2-person snow shelter, and they, it was a fantastic success for them because they were physically challenged, mentally challenged. Oh, and everything we do is competitive. So we have 3 teams. You have the top 20 executives in this organization competing against each other, and you can imagine Type A, very competitive.
Yeah.
And everybody really gets into it. And what comes out of that is that there's initial bonds, there's additional relationships and lines of communications that are opened up through each event. So it's a process that helps form better teams.
Yeah, no, that sounds amazing. I like how, because everybody's comfort level is different, and it seems like you kind of accommodate so all sort of type A, type B, et cetera, they can come together, and I can really see how that experiential learning happens, that development of bonding.
Yeah, it's definitely it's a powerful experience, and really it really sets in once they get back to the office.
Yeah.
Because I always follow up with them, and when they're out in the field, they say, wow, that was really cool. We had lots of fun. We learned a lot. This and that. But once they get back into the office and they've thawed out a little bit,
they've really thawed out a little bit. I love
it. They really get a sense of the enhanced relationships that have begun to develop. And this is part of a process. It's not a one-stop thing. We're all about opening up new lines of communication and initiating culture shifts within organizations, companies and teams.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. And I also love that, it's not just for offices and corporations, right? You had mentioned that you worked with other organizations and school groups, and it just so much potential, right? Yes.
We're and one of the things that our organization is known for is its creativity. So we rarely do the same program twice, even though it might have the same parameters. What we typically try and do is get to know the company, the personality, and the culture of the organization.
Yeah.
And then we collaborate on developing the program. So it comes together through each individual conversation. And so that makes it, every program we do is unique.
Yeah. And I love the fact that they're, reaching out and touching base with you after the fact and letting you know how much of an impact CBST Adventures was.
Yeah, well, in fact, 70% of the folks that dip their toe in the water with us for training and development opportunities remain clients. So we do either biannual or quarterly training and development.
Repeat
business.
adventure.
Yep, absolutely.
I think that's a good sign of a good business, right?
Yes, it is.
Now, for the folks at home, if they, are in charge of a business or a corporation or a school group, or as you mentioned earlier, if someone's planning a wedding or maybe a family reunion or something, right? Maybe they're interested in checking you guys out. What's the best way to touch base with you and kind of create that unique experience for them?
Sure. You can reach us at CBSTadventures.com. Check out our YouTube page and Facebook page as well. There's a lot of, we document everything, that we do with our clients, and then we post it. So there's a lot of our past projects with organizations, so you can get a sense of, what type of program and even what destination. We're a Vail Resorts preferred vendor, so we operate in all the Vail Resorts destinations from Park City to Stowe, Vermont, and we work with their guests, clients, and their staff as well. So you can get a sense of what we do, where we operate, and then give us a call, and we'd be glad to talk to you.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Scott, for joining us today, and thank you so much for the great information and sort of enlightenment of what CBST Adventures is all about and what they offer.